tender, juicy chicken smothered in a super delicious, flavorful sauce. Today, we're making my creamy garlic Dijon chicken. Let's cook. We're going to start by seasoning some clean chicken thighs with some salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Get that all mixed around and make sure everything is coated well, and then just set this aside. Next, heat some oil in a pan and fry up 5 or 6 slices of bacon. Now I'm using turkey bacon, but you can use whatever kind of bacon that you normally use. Once your bacon is nice and crispy, remove it from the pan and set it aside. Now if you need to add more oil, go ahead and add it, and we're going to start to brown our chicken thighs. Once you get them in the pan, just let them do their thing and leave them alone for about 5 minutes until they get nice and golden brown on that first side. Now guys, I'm using chicken thighs, but this recipe works just as well if you have chicken breast on hand. Now that the chicken is beautifully brown on the first side, we're going to go ahead and flip it over and let it cook for another 5 to 7 minutes until it is no longer pink and has an internal temperature of at least 170 degrees Fahrenheit. After I remove my chicken from the pan, I'm going to cover it with foil so that it stays warm. And then I'm going to add unsalted butter to the same pan, keeping those yummy brown bits from the chicken. And I'm going to start to cook my onions for about 4 minutes so that they can get translucent and nice and sweet. Next, I'm going to add in my minced garlic, let that cook for another minute until it gets fragrant. And then I'm going to sprinkle in my chili pepper flakes, thyme, basil, and rosemary. Now I'm going to deglaze my pan with a dry white wine. I like to use a Pinot Grigio for this. I'm going to stir everything, making sure I scrape up all those yummy brown bits because baby, that is pure flavor. And then I'm going to let this reduce by half. Now once my wine has reduced, I'm going to go ahead and add in my cream, a really good Dijon mustard, and a low sodium MSG-free chicken bouillon. Now this video isn't sponsored, but I like to use the brand Better Than Bouillon because it's absolutely delicious. I'm going to stir everything together really well, make sure everybody is playing nicely together. And then I'm going to stir in my freshly grated Pecorino Romano cheese. Now if you can't find that in your store, you can substitute Parmesan cheese for this. I'm going to let this cook for about a minute until it starts to thicken up. And then I'm going to add in my chopped spinach. I'm going to cook that for about 20 to 30 seconds, just until it starts to wilt down. You guys remember, all the ingredients and measurements will be listed down below in the description box. Now it's time to add the chicken back to the pan, making sure not to leave behind any of the juices that are in the plate. You want to go ahead and baste the chicken with this beautiful sauce that we've made. And finally, I'm going to finish it off with that bacon that I cooked earlier, and I've crumbled it up into small pieces. I'm going to mix everything together. Let this cook for another minute or two just to make sure that everything is warmed through, and we are all done. Now let's plate this up, making sure that we have some of that delicious sauce all over the top. Guys, make sure that you are subscribed before you go and that you've hit that notification bell so that you know every time we upload a video. You can find this recipe at delightfulanddelicious.com. I'll see you next time.